Well, what do you mean by it's not exactly the evil internet?
So essentially, like the Undernet does a lot of great things in terms of it keeps all the massive crime that could be occurring. It kind of keeps crime down. So basically, if anybody really wants to do anything, you have to get through the Undernet first, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Wait, hold on. No, Kevin, I don't know what you mean because that like doesn't make any sense to me. Like crime can happen anywhere, right? Why would crime only be centralized in the undernet and not happen in the vanilla internet? Wouldn't regular net navies or rogue net navies be a possibility in the vanilla internet as well?
Not really, because like a vanilla net, like okay, so like the vanilla internet, if you're a rogue Navi, you're not gonna get very far. The whole thing is like, think of it as like,
Oh, so the vanilla internet, sort of the system is set up to not allow for that, to not allow like a rogue net navi to gain any sort of power or prominence.
yeah, essentially, yeah. Think of it like, think of the internet and the undernet as like a yin and yang kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like each part of it is there for a reason, and we'll get into it. Like I'm telling you, like everything is there for a reason. Like we'll get into it. You'll find out. You'll know.
It's gonna pretty much be like in the vanilla internet, you have net battling official. You have like the official net battlers, which are pretty much policing the internet. So if you're trying to like assert yourself as like, oh yeah, I'm this powerful force, the only thing that you're doing is you're drawing attention of the authorities.
Gotcha. That totally makes sense. When you put it like that, it completely makes sense. But Kevin, you were mentioning that everything has a purpose and everything has its place. So what was the purpose of the Undernet? Like, why make it in the first place?
The reason why the Undernet exists is to house a specific program. The internet that you're on right now, like the one that you're playing as Mega Man, like the quote vanilla internet, isn't so vanilla. It's maybe a little chocolate. Or we'll talk about maybe. Hey, how about we'll say it's a little cold. How
Your
about that?
fucking horses.
Right. What does that mean? Clarify your chocolate internet comment now.
Well, okay. Think about like I'll say instead of chocolate, we'll say coffee. How about that? Because it's the second iteration of the internet. It's not so brand new. So when the internet was created, it was called Alpha.
Okay, so let's back up a bit. Let me get this straight. The Undernet was created to house a program named Alpha? Question mark?
It was created to house a program that was essentially the alpha type of the internet. So it was the first iteration of the network. So think about it like for Terminator fans, it's the very first version of Skynet that's not ready for public release.
Gotcha. And from what I read, this alpha version went rogue and became dangerous, right?
Yeah, it pretty much did the typical robot or robot thing of turning on humans. Humans are inferior, and it decided to try to take over.
That would wreak some havoc on society, I would think.
Yeah. So what they did was, what Hikari and all them did, was they decided, okay, instead of just hitting delete, which apparently they can't do now.
Well, you can't delete it. It's sentient. And it's a living network.
Are we talking we can't because we physically can't, like, destroy a server, or that's just immorally wrong?
No, you physically can't, because I would imagine if it's sentient and it's like threatening, it's probably also aware of its own mortality, and it's probably taking measures to save itself.
That's what I was thinking too. Like the fact that it's become hostile, the fact that it's actively engaging, presumably against its creators, and it's, I would think that it also put up some sort of defenses to not allow for it to just be shut down with the flip of a switch.
And the fact that to make sure that no one was able to access this, they create this basically secondary version of the internet and they hide it inside of it.
That makes sense. So does the alpha still live there, or?
Mm-hmm.
It still exists there.
Wow, interesting. Could it be used as some sort of weapon? If there's all these mobs in the undernet and if there's all these criminal net navies, could they unleash the alpha on the rest of the world?
Well, most people who are inhabiting the Undernet are actually unaware of this program. They're drawn to the Undernet just because it's the proving ground to test your strength. there are a few people that actually know about the alpha program and that actually would know how to utilize it. And there's also a second line of defense that the Undernet has created, and that is the ranking system.
Yeah, Kevin had mentioned this earlier, but I'm actually really intrigued by the ranking system. From the little bit of research that I did, it seems like a completely random and somewhat lawless way to rank everybody in the Undernet, which seems like, of course, the perfect ranking system for the completely lawless Undernet. Hey, so you just listened to a clip from our podcast Lore Party. To listen to the full episode and check out all of our other content, find us on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you so much for listening.